The dating bait and switch. I'm convinced that what we call dating today, especially through apps and online platforms, isn't about romance at all. It's about sex work in disguise, a transactional exchange that permeates not just physical interactions, but also mental and spiritual ones. When friends urge me to join a dating app or an online community tied to a social media platform, I can't help but think they're out of touch with reality, maybe even unhinged or swayed by their own delusions. My experiences and observations have led me to believe that modern dating is deeply rooted in sexual motives, and this influence seeps into every layer of human connection. First, I've noticed that dating apps don't seem designed for building meaningful relationships. They feel like marketplaces where people trade on superficial qualities, mostly looks. A 2020 Pew Research study I came across backs this up. 57% of users said their experiences on these apps centered on physical attraction, often leading to hookups rather than lasting partnerships. The swipe mechanics on apps like Tinder or Bumble turn people into products, encouraging quick, shallow judgments. To me, this mirrors the transactional nature of sex work, where the exchange is clear attention or intimacy for immediate gratification. Every time I've tried these platforms, the vibe felt more like browsing a catalog than seeking a genuine bond. Second, I've seen how the motives driving people on these apps, men and women alike, often resemble those in sex work, even if the incentives differ slightly. Sociologist Elizabeth Bernstein's work on bounded authenticity resonates with me. She describes how modern relationships involve negotiated exchanges, whether for emotional validation, social status, or sex. I've read ex posts where users openly talk about seeking sugar relationships or casual encounters on dating apps, even when they claim to want romance. My own interactions confirm this. Conversations often pivot to expectations of sexual availability, as if that's the unspoken currency. It's hard to see this as anything but a subtler form of sex work, where the transaction might be less explicit but no less real. Finally, I believe this obsession with sex goes beyond the physical. It's mental and spiritual, too. Philosopher Byung Chul Han's ideas about society commodifying relationships hit home for me. I see it in how media glamorizes sexual desirability above all else, or how even spiritual practices, like those tantric workshops I've read about on X, blend sacred rhetoric with sexual undertones. To me, this proves that sex has infiltrated every aspect of connection, even where it shouldn't belong. When I reflect on dating today, I see a culture where romance is overshadowed by a deeper, almost esoteric drive for sexual exchange. In the end, I'm convinced that modern dating, especially online, is less about love and more about transactions rooted in sex. It's not just physical, it shapes our minds and spirits too. Those who push dating apps as the path to romance seem to miss this truth, perhaps lost in an idealized view of what dating could be.